as much as I love this fight, and as much as Johnny Cage is my favorite MK character, where the fuck were you, Johnny? Well, Liu Kang was getting the dog shit beat at.
So
What was
one-on-one
he
fights,
doing?
Mortal
Getting
Kombat.
French fries?
Today we review a request of reviewing the 1995 Mortal Kombat, and how does this compare to the new Mortal Kombat 2 that just came out in theaters?
You know, I remember I was a kid when this movie came out. I remember being overly excited because by this time, I'd already been a big fan of the games. I'd played 1 and 2, 2 still my favorite. And I remember the casting announcement for this movie was Robin Shou. And I'd seen him in a movie with Chris Farley. The dude's a legit martial artist. He looks like Liu Kang. And
He does.
he plays him exactly how I would have. I mean, they change up kind of like the lore again of him. Like Kung Lao's not his cousin. They don't even mention actual present day Kung Lao. They just say that
Kung Lao.
he's the great Kung Lao, which is part of this. It is part of the lore.
Well, there's also
so
a
Liu
reference
Kang-
to the he picks up his hat later. No, it was someone picks up the hat later.
Yeah, but that's not
It's
Kung Lao's hat. So
okay.
he's a direct descendant of the great Kung Lao who had defeated Shang Tsung and many years ago, and then Shang Tsung gets the upper hand by introducing Prince Goro. But we go on this journey with Robin Shou, and he was actually so good in the film, and I feel like I said this also about Ludi Ling in the new movie, but he was so good in the film that they actually asked him if he wanted to help with some of the choreography and some of the stunts. Of course, the dude said yeah.
believe it.
So when you actually see Robin Shou run up a fucking wall and do a flip and kick a dude in the face, that's actually him. That's not a stunt double. And he helped. Yeah, he helped with a lot of that stuff. He actually got heavily injured throughout this movie in a later fight, which is my favorite fight of now that I've seen all the Mortal Kombat live action films. Still my favorite fight of all of them.
Let us know which is your favorite fight in the comments below.
The dude that plays Reptile cracked 3 of this dude's ribs in that fight. And if you've seen this movie, you'll know the scene I'm talking about. He's kicking the shit out of him. But I believe this guy as Liu Kang. I mean, he's got the hair, he's got the look. From the very first scene, you're like, yeah, I understand. I'm not so much of a fan of the whole, because instead of going the Kung Lao route, they went the my brother challenged Shang Tsung before
Does he actually
the
get
tournament.
like visions like that in the game?
No, none of that shit happens. No, he's Raiden's protege in the game, and he's part of the White Lotus monks, and he's just their chosen champion to represent Earth in the tournament. Here they make the whole thing up about his brother, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That part kind of lost me because his brother challenges Shang Tsung like before the tournament, which would have not had any consequences to the tournament. Of course, Shang Tsung kills him, and so Liu Kang's on this quest for revenge. But I do like what Raiden like later on teaches Liu Kang in the movie. Like, you gotta let that shit go. You just gotta do it for yourself, not for that. And I also like the Shang Tsung, tries to play off of that. He tries to tell, he works on his fears. He's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it to you with what I did to your brother. I really like that.
Yeah. So just before I get into my thoughts with Liu Kang, a question I do have for you is, at this point in Mortal Kombat games, I think they've released the first 2 games at this point. Does Liu Kang have powers? Does anyone have powers yet? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that they couldn't show it because it's the 90s and CGI and everything, but that was one thing I did miss. I did miss Liu Kang having powers. I thought
he does use them.
He does at the very, very end. Yes. Yeah, like the very last
It was a
game.
trope in the 90s, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But I could have sworn, I would have bet money that when Katana said, use the power of life, that was when he was going to get his fire powers. I would have bet money on that.
No, I got that reference immediately because she tells him, use the element that brings life. I knew when she said that at the beach, I was like, she's talking about fucking water.
I know.
Especially when his opponent was Sub-Zero, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's going to use water.
Which, I will be honest, was pretty cool. I think Liu Kang in this movie, as Edward said, was well done. I am definitely more partial to the newer iteration, but I do think for what they did in the 90s, they did a pretty good job with this character. I do like how they did end up using his powers. I just wish it was more. I wish they used it throughout the movie, but I get why they didn't. I mean, Liu Kang had a lot of great fights, and I think the fight choreography in this movie is the best out of the three I have seen. 2021 and the 2026, I think the fight choreography was spectacular. Liu Kang definitely being a big part of it. Of course, there were definitely some moments that weren't necessarily as good, but overall, it was definitely solid. I got why he was on this journey. I think it makes sense for getting revenge and then Raiden having this, you need to fight for more than that. Embrace your destiny, embrace why you're here. I dug that for the most part. And then for Johnny Cage, it was hard. At the start of the movie, it was really hard for me to like him because I like Karl Urban's iteration, but as this movie went on, I really did start to like this iteration of Johnny Cage. I think there are two different iterations here. He's definitely a lot more, as he is in the video games, a lot more arrogant, a lot more bravado. I love that. I don't know when its showtime came into being in Mortal Kombat. Was that a more recent addition to the game?
That's a more recent thing, yeah.
Okay, got it. So then that point is utterly moot. But I think he did a good job. I liked how he's always wearing a suit. He's always dressed very nicely. I thought the actor did a tremendous job. I loved his comedy. I think him and Sonya had great chemistry together. I loved their banter and back and forth. I really enjoyed his iteration. I think he was solid. I just wish we saw more of him.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And for today's Daily Dose of Dork Knowledge, actually, Johnny Cage was supposed to be played by, or they wanted, Jean-Claude Van Damme. You gotta understand, the game was originally focused on Jean-Claude Van Damme, because in this era, Jean-Claude Van Damme, believe it or not, was actually a huge star. He had several hits under his belt by this time. By the time 95 came around, Jean-Claude Van Damme was
at the peak.
A big name. He was an A-list star. He wasn't what he is now. He was at the height of his career, very much like Johnny Cage. And so, the game, the first one, it was originally going to be based on him, just a karate tournament, because both of the creators, Ed Boon and John Tobias, were big fans of Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and stuff like that. And they also envisioned, Big Trouble in Little China, Into the Dragon, things like that. But they wanted to center it around Van Damme. Van Damme told them in, a few words, go fuck yourselves. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. Years later, the games blow up. He had no faith in video games. He thought this shit wasn't going to go anywhere. The games blow up. They're the biggest selling games on the planet. And they approach him for the movie. And of course, with his ego, because remember, he's an A-list star at this point. It's him, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Sylvester Stallone. They're the biggest fucking names in Hollywood, period. This is before Titanic and Leo DiCaprio blew up. So it's these three dudes. And so they approach him, and he's like, all right, yeah, I'll do it, without even reading the script. But his one condition was, but I want to be the star of the film. Fuck that little Asian kid. I want to be the hero. And
I'm glad they didn't.
Oddly enough, because remember, this is the 90s. This is when they whitewash most everything. I'm surprised that they weren't like, yeah, let's sideline Liu Kang and make you the star. They told him no. They were like, look, this is what the story is. And then Street Fighter came after him, because at the same time Street Fighter came out. And he had the same condition for them. Fuck the little Asian kid Ryu, make me the star of the movie. I'll be the hero and I'll do your movie. And they told him yes, so he goes with Street Fighter. And I don't know how many of you know how that turned out, but that movie bombed hard ass at the box office. Man, Jean-Claude Van Damme must have kicked himself in the balls when he saw what Mortal Kombat did, because it did, for its time and for the type of movie it was, it did relatively well at the box office. And then on home video, it just fucking blew up. He must still kick himself in the ass for that. Back to Johnny Cage. So Van Damme told them to go fuck themselves. So they got Lyndon Ashby, who's an actual martial artist. I'm not going to dare say that he's on the level of Jean-Claude Van Damme, because whether you like the dude or not, he's a legit martial artist, not like Steven Seagal. He may not be able to kick the ass he used to, but because, he hit that boost really hard. But he's a solid dude, and I'm still a big fan of his. If I ever get the chance to meet that dude, I was in a room with him one time, but something very different happened, and I've talked about that before. But But Lyndon did a great job.
He did.
Exactly what Griffin talks about. The dude from the moment, I love that opening sequence. That was supposed to be Steven Spielberg, by the way, but scheduling
like
conflicts did not. That's why he looks like him, because it was supposed to be, and he wanted it because he's a big fan of the games, and so are his kids. He wanted to be there, but because of scheduling conflicts, he couldn't. So they came up with this idea if they could use kind of his likeness, and he was totally in for it. He was actually at the premiere, and Johnny Cage is like, he's doing this. The press is coming after him hard. His career's not in the crapper. It's just they think he's a fake. It's at this time where all martial artists were being questioned. Like, they were asking, Van Damme was apparently a fake. We know who the fake was. It's Steven Seagal, if you guys don't know. But, there's this whole thing back and forth about whether his stunts are real, if he's actually doing it. And when he's working with the stunt team, there's this one fucking dude that just doesn't remember his cue of when to drop, and Johnny's like, dude, this is where you fall down. Then the guy just drops himself, and he tells essentially the director, I'm gonna go kill myself for being in your fucking movie. And I like the approach that this movie has, and Griffin brought that to my attention, where it's really Raiden and Shang Tsung gathering these fighters for the tournament, not that they just fucking show up.
Gods.
Which Raiden does show up, him and Sonya, to go get Johnny Cage in the new one. But here it's more like trickery and magic to get them to show up. Johnny Cage's ego is used against him, where he's like, look, you want to prove to the world that you're the greatest martial artist? Go win this tournament. And Johnny, if you're buying into the story, given the fact that people don't believe that he's great, he would take that shit and be like, yeah, let me go prove to the world that I am the world's greatest fighter. I love that this motherfucker shows up with like a month's supply of like baggage, and the banter that Griffin was talking about with Sonya is fantastic. But I love his first interaction with Liu Kang, where he sees this. It's very racial. He sees this Asian kid. He's like, hey man, could you put my shit in the bag? And Liu Kang's like, throws it in the water. He's like, fuck you, and takes his money. I love that. He's witty. He's the dude is in a suit on an island. It's got to be hot as balls in that place. But he's, the best thing he does is rolls up his sleeves.
It looks good.
Gets rid of the jacket. It looks awesome. I don't know how comfortable he is fighting and doing it. He had to do all the fighting in that fucking attire, which is crazy. But he does great, man. He's got the sunglasses.
He broke $500 pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, I love that line, man. When he fights with Goro, and he's like, those were $500 sunglasses, asshole. And he knocks him off that fucking cliff. I do like that, there's this relationship, unspoken relationship between him and Sonya, which was not in the previous movie, in the latest movie, I mean. But I just saw an interview where the actress who portrays Sonya, Jessica, says that was actually a Ed Boon call, that he asked the director and the producers, hey, not just yet. I don't want just Sonya to be some damsel in distress. I never got the sense that Sonya was actually a damsel in distress. She's a special forces operative. I don't think that's the chick you want to fuck with, man. I don't think she actually needs Johnny's help. But I did like that here. There's this flirtatious thing. Like Sonya can't stand him at first, but then when she sees him take on the sacrifice for her, I love that, man. No, this dude does a great job in the role. I understand why he didn't come back for the second one, and I won't say anything until Griffin watched the second one. But I totally understand why he was like, he read that script, he's like, fuck you guys, I'm not doing that. And speaking about Sonya, this iteration I really like.
I like it more than the current one, actually.
I'm not sure how much I would have liked it, because originally it was going to be Cameron Diaz. I'm not a fan of Cameron Diaz. I never have been. I think that chick's, this is my opinion, remember, my opinion. I think that chick's looked hot once, and that's in the fucking Mask movie, and then ever since she's just looked odd. But she was cast as Sonya for this movie, but she broke, I think, some ribs or her wrist, and she couldn't continue. And then Bridget Nielsen was brought on to play her. And I actually prefer this actress. I think she did a great job. I think she looks the part. And I very much like her attitude. That's just... Anytime I think of Sonya, I think of this actress. I think of this iteration. I love the reason why... Because in the game, she's after Kano for a very specific reason. In the latest movies, especially in the first one, she kind of just kidnapped Kano. but there's never really an explanation as to
Does-
why. She just has him in his little house. And then in the second one, she hates him because he was a dick to her in the first one, and she took out his eyeball.
Does her partner have a name in the games or this iteration? I know it becomes Jax later. Okay.
No, I mean, Jax is her boss.
Oh, that's her boss?
Yeah. Even in the latest iteration, it's her superior officer. But her partner gets murdered by Kano.
Yeah. I remember that. Then I remember Jax being in this movie for a little bit.
And so that's why Sonya's like, because there's no invitation for Sonya. Like, Shang Tsung wants her to be there, but she doesn't know that.
Because I hate that.
Because he's
obsessed.
Well, no, he's not obsessed with her. He knows she can't beat him. And so that's why he wants her.
I don't know. I kind of also got the feeling he was romantically interested in her.
Oh, he couldn't give two single fucks about that.
That's just the vibe I got from this movie, knowing nothing else about it.
The reason why he goes after Sonya is because he's like,
he thought she was just gonna be weak.
Oh no, he was gonna beat her.
Yeah,
I mean,
even
even Johnny Cage is like, can Sonya beat? And Raiden's like, no, it's done. We're fucked.
Yeah.
We're getting invaded.
So, I guess then one question I have about this movie with Shang Tsung and that whole plotline then is, they said because there's no one else around to continue Mortal Kombat that we forfeit, even though he left the location.
Yeah.
So
because Shang Tsung does address that. He says Mortal Kombat continues. I'm simply changing the place. You didn't break the rules.
Okay, got it. So he could just change the location of the tournament. And it's up to everyone else just to follow?
Yeah. The only one that can't follow is Raiden.
That's so
He can follow. No, I don't see it that way. I mean...
How's it not bullshit?
It's just a change of venue.
Yeah, deliberately knowing that people can't follow them easily whatsoever.
The only one that can't follow him is Raiden.
Well, that's...
I mean, Liu Kang and what's-his-name could go.
Yeah, it's a little scummy, but it fits the character.
Yeah. I mean, he's been cheating for fucking thousands of years.
Yeah.
That's how he took over the tournament.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's scummy as fuck. With Sonya, as what Edward said, I like this iteration.
It also proves that Shang Tsung's a little bitch because he's choosing to fight someone who he absolutely knows
he's cheated. He knows he's going to lose otherwise.
And then when like Liu Kang's like, I challenge you, he tries to not do it until Liu Kang's like, what's up, bitch?
Yeah.
What are you being scared for?
I did like Shang Tsung for the most part. I really thought he was creeping on Sonya in this movie. I don't know if that's just because I don't have any ties to the games. That's just the vibe I got from it.
That's probably why, yeah.
Yeah. I liked him. I think there are moments he definitely overacted, but let's be honest, it's the 90s, par for
dude. Everybody overacted.
Exactly. It's par for the course. I also find it so fucking weird in that vision. Again, the vision's weird, where he just deadpans the camera, knowing he's just looking at water, intently staring. If you take it out of the context, it's funny. But I think the actor did a good job. I like the choreography for his fights. I think he did a really good job. I don't know if he's a stunt double or not, but he did a good job with it. I liked how we did get a bit of his powers here. How he was just taking people's souls, especially those of the losers. I wish this movie for the 90s was a bit on the longer side. If I recall, I think like 90 minutes is usually where they wanted the movies to be in the 90s, if not like an hour 40, and they were already kind of pushing that. I think seeing a little bit more from his fight, using more of his powers of harnessing the powers of hundreds of men would have been a bit cooler, but again, restricted to budget, CGI. I think they did a really good job with it.
Well, I mean, I really like the actor who portrays Shang Tsung in this movie. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. I probably butchered that name. I apologize. But I've been a fan of that dude for a very long time. He was in this great movie with Wesley Snipes, and I think it's called Rising Sun. Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. And he plays a dude named Eddie. But no, he's a great actor, and he's an actual martial artist. And he was so iconic in the role that he's even now in the latest games. They brought him back to do some, they used his likeness and stuff like that. I I wish we would have started with old man Shang Tsung, because he's been around. He's been around for 500 years. But this game took from the first and second game. It merged them two together. So Shang Tsung's rejuvenated.
Is he human?
He's human. Yeah, he's from
And then
Earth.
I'm guessing he's like augmenting his life by taking these souls, right?
Yeah, he was cursed by the Elder Gods. Fucking Elder Gods, man. He was cursed by the Elder Gods because he competed in one of the original tournaments, and he was like, you know what? Fuck Earthrealm. He sided with Emperor Shao Kahn, and he taught him how to like strip souls and do all this bullshit.
Okay.
And in the first game, he fails. Obviously, Liu Kang becomes the champion, and he goes to Outworld, and Shao Kahn punishes him. But then he comes up with this elaborate plan, like, hey, let's kidnap 2 of the Earthrealmers and force them for a second all-out tournament.
Yeah.
And then the Emperor rejuvenates him. So when you see him young here, that's part of that. And when he takes Sonya to Outworld, that's kind of what happens in between the first and second game. So I did like that. And I thought he played a good Shang Tsung. I thought he was a menacing.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Villain.
After seeing Shang Tsung in this movie, I do hope if there is another Mortal Kombat, we do see more of him.
I mean, Shang Tsung in the latest Mortal Kombat movies didn't do
shit.
The worst thing he's done is killed Kung Lao in the first movie. But in this second movie, he didn't do shit.
Yeah. I hope we see more of him in the third then.
If he's going to do something. If not, then...
Well, yeah, so I said see more of him. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no, I think this version is my favorite version of Shang Tsung. Right down to what he's wearing. I don't know how in the fuck... This dude, I kind of akin it to like Gambit. I don't know how in the hell these dudes are out in a... If you've ever been... I'm sure some of you have been
to the beach. They just love the craft.
It's
they just love what they're doing.
As fuck. This dude's in a black trench coat for the grand majority of this film. Yeah. That is crazy as hell. Everyone else is like... Pfft. Even Johnny Cage took his suit jacket off and rolled that shit up. Because it's hot. And I remember some of the behind the scenes. All of the actors were like, dude, it is hot as fuck. They're filming out like in Thailand and shit like that. It's hot, man. It's humid. And they filmed during summer, so you know it's hot.
Before Raiden in this movie, I'm going to be so honest. This is where Edward and I are going to differ. When I first saw him, I really thought, who the hell is this white man? And of course he ended up being Raiden, because of course. I did not like this iteration of Raiden whatsoever. I did not like his voice. I would have bet money he was doing a Christian Bale sort of voice. Edward, of course, told me the opposite. I couldn't stand it. After seeing the newer iteration, I just think this one just is not nearly as good. I don't like the attitude. I do like how he tries to help them along. I definitely like that in his wisdom. His dialogue, that's totally fine. It's just... I really did not like this iteration of the character whatsoever. Most of it is just because of the design of him. I didn't like the voice. It's just, I feel like the things he did, yeah, they made sense. I didn't like his laugh. Whenever he talked, I just cringed a little bit I don't know why, I don't know what it was. I just could not put up with this iteration whatsoever.
No, that's fair. I mean, I listen, you got to remember, I'm coming off the games, so for me as well. When I saw this, I was like, "What the hell is that dude doing there?"
Are the games voiced? I should have asked that a while ago. I know there's some voice lines, but not that many.
There's voice lines. I mean, but not many. You never hear Raiden speak until like the fourth game, really.
Okay.
He also does this crazy scream. I can't even emulate it, which I'm missing still, even from these new movies. Where the fuck is Raiden's scream? Y'all know what I'm talking about. When he does his little Superman jump. I'm not gonna try to even attempt to make that sound, but because it's crazy as fuck. But I am missing that from the fucking movies, guys. Look, Christopher Lambert, I know the dude. He's played Tarzan. He's been in the Highlander movies, which I still don't know why my dad likes them.
I don't get it either. They're not good.
But no, they're not. But that's that dude's voice. If anything, Christian Bale is emulating Christopher Lambert. I believe you. But I agree with Griffin. I don't know why the fuck they went that rap. But look, it's the 90s. I'm surprised Liu Kang wasn't fucking Leo DiCaprio. To be honest with you, we're lucky we got Liu Kang. As he's an Asian lead in the 90s, guys. You gotta center yourself around that. We almost got it switched around. We would have had it Jean-Claude's way. He would have been the lead, which still makes no sense because Yeah, he's not though.
He can go suck a dick.
But yeah, but I also do not understand his humor. I think his laugh is crazy. I don't know why they went this route. There were rumors that it was either this dude or it was going to be Steven Seagal. Actually, if I look at it that way, we actually won, guys, because Steven Seagal is just fucking nuts. Yeah. Could you imagine if Steven Seagal would have been Raiden and fucking Johnny Cage would have been Van Damme? Because those dudes hate each other.
That would have been a very different movie.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has been... they've both been very open about how they can't... Supposedly, it's been going on for 40 years. If they're ever in a room together, there's going to be fireworks. Yeah. I think they're full of shit. I don't think I think they're going to look at each other crazy, and that'll be the most of it. But could you imagine if that dude would have been Johnny Cage and Steven Seagal would have been Raiden?
That would not have been good.
Steven Seagal's wit as Raiden, man.
It's awful.
That would have been something else. I don't know if Earthrealm would have won the tournament. But, Raiden's... I'm kind of starting to like him more in a mentor capacity.
He's a good mentor, sure.
I do like him fighting, though. I mean, he's got some pretty awesome shit in the games. I'm not going to lie. Except once we started getting into Deadly Alliance, his moves really started to suck. I'm not going to lie. But, if Griffin... I'll say this and close on Raiden. If Griffin hates Christopher Lambert's iteration of Raiden, holy shit, dude. I really now want you to watch Annihilation. Because if you hated Raiden here... You're gonna... I can't wait for your thoughts on that shit.
I think if I ever watch Annihilation, I'm really just... It's gonna be 30 minutes of me just saying nothing but negative.
I think it's gonna be centered around Raiden.
100%. We'll see if that conversation ever comes.
And then Kano. Kano, sadly, the actor who portrayed Kano, he passed away. Oh. I'm not sure how long after this movie, but he passed away.
That's a shame.
I don't remember him on anything else, to be honest with you. That's not shade on the actor. I just don't, He's an Australian actor. I thought, for the night, hey, if nothing else,
the game was
fucking faceplate. Yeah, yep. And it was perfect. It looked just like Kano. Yeah, he wasn't bald like Kano was in the games, but, if you're going to be picky about shit, I think he had his thing. He had his accent. There was this hatred between him and Sonya, and the way he taunts her, I think, worked.
Yeah.
He was a big dude. He's in there for one fight, and then Sonya kills his ass.
I think, honestly, if I haven't seen the newer movies, I would have thought this Kano would have been great. It's just this newer guy is just fantastic.
This newer guy is
He's amazing. This guy just pales by comparison. Although, yeah, he hit all the same notes, just not as good.
The directors have already admitted he rewrote a lot of that shit.
The actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
Jack Nicholson did the shit. He read the script, he got on screen, and he just did his own thing. Yeah. He kind of... Well, not Jack Nicholson. He kind of really did what... I was going to say Johnny Cage. Johnny Depp did with Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow was written in... Everyone will tell you, was written a certain way. Johnny Depp, of course, because he's nuts. He got on set, and he was like...
There's still some deleted scenes in that movie. That's such a shame we never got. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this Kano, he did everything right. It's just not nearly as good, which is a shame.
No, I mean, is this dude
sad that
here...
he passed, but he did a good job.
The new Kano is just...
He's a 10 out of 10.
I mean, that's the last character you'd think you'd walk out of a Mortal Kombat movie thinking that of highlights, but really the actor just steals the show, man. I mean, we said it in our Mortal Kombat 2 review. The guy is just fucking amazing. This dude didn't do a bad job. He didn't have much to work with, to be honest. It's a 90s script, and he was really just there to taunt Sonya and then get his neck snapped. But he had the look.
And then for Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So with Sub-Zero here, I get that Shang Tsung is controlling both of them right now. I do wish we saw a little bit more of their rivalry, but I feel like for what Sub-Zero had to do in this movie, which was really just show up, freeze people, and die, he did it. His choreography was good. Really, he was
Actual
there.
martial artist, too.
Yeah, he was there.
Fun fact about these two dudes, neither of them are played by an Asian actor. The dude that plays Sub-Zero is a French actor, I believe. French ballet and martial arts expert. Both of them are actual martial artists. The dude that plays Scorpion is a legit martial artist. He was a dear friend of mine's actual sensei. He taught.
He was originally going to be
Jason.
hired as one of the ninjas. Then we got hired on a Scorpion.
Yeah, he was just a stunt double, and then he was so good in it, he got hired on as the.
He does do a good job with the choreography. It's just that this iteration of Scorpion, I am not a fan of. I love the new iteration. It's just, why is the chain coming out of his palm, and why is it alive? I don't even get it. Like, it's the 90s.
Fucking movie liberties,
on CGI. Man. Why did you do that? It doesn't. It looks good for the 90s. There's nothing wrong with that.
It doesn't. It looks like shit.
It's just, why the fuck? Why is it alive? And why is it coming out of your palm? It's
even Johnny Cage makes a joke about it. He's like, we got a guy with shit coming out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much cooler when you're controlling a chain.
So long as fuck, it makes absolutely like when you see that fight scene, it makes. I think it's the thing that makes the least sense in the movie. We're talking about a movie that you have to win 9 straight martial arts tournaments in a row to 10 to take over a world. So that But so the fight is him and Johnny, and there's only one fight with Scorpion, which kind of sucks.
He's in the movie for maybe 2 minutes.
I would have loved to have seen Sub-Zero and Scorpion take on other Earth warriors and killed them. Just I don't know, I'm crazy like that. But so the fight takes place in the forest. You can clearly tell there's heavily usage of mirrors. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And so they're super far away from each other. And he shoots this fucking like Spider-Man, this thing out of his palm, and it just keeps going and going and going. And of course it's stopped. This is the funniest part about it. Of course he runs out of rope or whatever, like right as he gets to and all Johnny does is moves his head back a little bit, and that's where the thing stops. If you think about it, all Scorpion had to do at that point was take a step forward, and that would have been the end of Johnny. But of course. Yeah. He just retrieves the fucking thing.
Stupid trope, but it is what it is.
And he shoots it back out, and it goes longer. It goes like through trees, around trees, and stuff like that. Johnny does the same thing, and then only this time he moves his head, and it like smacks into a tree trunk and dies. And Scorpion retrieves it. Johnny does his little, I guess you could say, his shadow kick, kind of. But it's really just because they're merging into the Netherrealm. The Netherrealm. It's just a bunch of like spider webs and like bamboo shit everywhere.
Again, for the 90s, it was cool. I that part I did like,
But the fight is awesome. And like once they actually get into the Netherrealm, Scorpion is kicking the dog shit out of my boy Johnny, because he's just got the upper hand until Johnny's like, I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I'm at. But then the fight is amazing because Johnny he grapples onto the thing, he grabs on, he does this like flip thing where he kicks the. That must have hurt. He kicks the shit out of Scorpion, like right in the chin, knocks him out. And then Scorpion gets back up, knocks the thing down with his foot. That must have hurt also because that's bamboo. Yeah. And then they just fall down, and then we get into fatality mode, which I did like. I did like Johnny. He leaves his little like, where the fuck did he get a picture of himself?
Dude, there are so many things like that. I don't know, but it was.
That was awesome though, because that is a fatality in the game where Johnny kills you and then he fucking throws his autograph at you. He's like, to my greatest fan. I did like that. Yeah. I did really dig Scorpion removing his mask, because that's a fatality from the game as well, where he attempts to do his fatality. He's just skull mask. He's essentially just Skeletor.
It's cool.
And then Johnny kills him by ripping his body apart, and then the flames within him kill him, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever, man. It's the 90s.
Oh, that's where the hat was, wasn't it? It was in that scene. That's a
I don't know if it was a hat. I think it was a shield with spikes around it.
To me, it looked like Kung Lao's hat. That's why I could have. I thought it was an Easter egg to it. Maybe that came from it later, but I could have sworn it was his hat.
You could be right. Yeah, I just always thought it was a shield.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, his hat works as a shield. It kind of is just a shield too.
Yeah, it's just Captain America's shield with spikes around it.
Yeah,
or a blade, a big ass blade, depending on which iteration. But yeah, no, Scorpion does his thing. He dies like one fight, and Sub-Zero shows up. He does this kind of like demonstration thing where he fucking kills a dude. Man, that dude really just pumped himself up just to die. That kind of sucked.
He must have known he was going to die too.
I don't think he knew. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he's one of these fanatics that's like, I'm gonna die for my emperor. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Sub-Zero and Scorpion look awesome. I mean, they do. That's probably, I think, in my opinion, the coolest they've ever looked. I just really like the ninja thing.
I love the new
And
look.
I like their face mask. I just that looks dope.
Yeah.
It's funny that they're not Asian though. That's just I think you probably don't know if you just by looking at the movie because they look Asian to me. I only know this shit because I saw the behind the scenes stuff. And when I saw Sub-Zero played by a little French dude, I was like, that is a fucking interest. I still don't know why they went that route. I don't mind. I mean, there weren't no Chinese dudes around or Japanese dudes. I'm sure there were. But I just think that's funny. The dude does a great job, though. I mean, he doesn't say a fucking word in the movie. Scorpion does. He says two. He says, get over here and get down here.
Well, yeah, all from the
Sub-Zero
games, though. It was all Ed Boon.
Sub-Zero doesn't say shit. A single word ever, which also kind of leads to his mysteriousness. It's the 90s, so in the games his powers are relatively quick if you know the moves. In the movie, he has to summon the ice, which is fucking crazy.
It reminded me of like the live action Avatar: Last Airbender with M. Night Shyamalan. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I
get it. He doesn't really shoot ice. He kind of like harnesses the air molecules and then cools them. I get it, but I wish it could have been done a little faster because that guy just was like pumping himself up, like
there was
doing
a
all these
lot
things.
of directing this movie that
it took about a minute for Sub-Zero to like summon his little like ice ball and then shoot it at the guy, and then also while Liu Kang's like he literally lets Liu Kang grab a fucking bucket of water, fling it like this while he's creating this giant ice shield. Yeah. Then he gets stabbed and freezes himself. Doesn't happen in the games. In the games, Scorpion kills him, getting revenge on what happened to his clan, to his family.
But they changed that.
But I'm okay with that liberty. Shang Tsung briefly mentions the rivalry that's between these two, but that's all we ever hear from it. We never actually see any of it, which is something that in the new movies we do get. We get the reason why these two guys fucking hate each other.
It was a great scene, too.
I do like that. Yeah, and we do see more of the Shia Ryu. They all get their asses kicked by the Lin Kuei, though. I mean, that opening sequence of the first movie, say what you want. Finally I was like, yeah, and I knew why they hated each other. I had never seen it. I was like, all right, I would hate you too. Bihan's a dick. He's 100% an asshole. I do like that. And so that's Scorpion and Sub-Zero for you here in Mortal Kombat 95. I briefly, Prince Goro, look, it's animatronics. It's 1995, man.
It was solid, though.
Yeah, I like Prince Goro here because I'm coming off the game. In the game, he's just claymation. But I do like how hard he was to beat. Prince Goro, again, like what I said in our previous video about Emperor Shao Kahn. If you're sitting here saying this shit was easy, I beat him with no challenge, you're either fucking lying or you're the world's greatest video game player ever. There's only those two options. Shang Tsung was not that hard, though. After you beat Goro, like if you beat Goro, you got through the endurance level where you fought two fucking fighters at once. You were awesome. Shang Tsung's a bitch after that. But Goro here was just like how I felt him in the game. He was this big menacing. Like if I saw that dude, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not fighting him. Which is why I felt for what was his name? Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art. It's like when Art fights him, he looks up. I'm like, yeah, I would have left. Fuck Earthrealm.
Overall, of this movie, I do have to critique some things about it. I think that the directing of this movie was subpar at best. I don't know why they slowed down so many of these scenes when they just didn't need to be. I didn't like that whatsoever. And then Edward mentioned Art here, who is this named character that sits down with the main characters once and then dies.
Because you fight Goro.
Yeah, I get that he fight Goros and dies. I just don't get why the main characters are all screaming for him, acting like they had all this attachment to him. I just wish that if they want us to care about this character dying here, we got more scenes with him, because I didn't feel shit for him. I don't know. It just felt like.
Well, he's established when Johnny meets him. He's established as a world-renowned martial artist. Like Johnny establishes that.
Yeah.
Then later on. I don't think it's
him.
because you have to feel for Art. I think it's just the fact that he's another one of the Earthrealmers, like Team. I don't know, Team U. You're like that.
Which also leads me to another thing. I wish we met everyone on Earth's team. At least even just like a lineup of who was there, just to establish who everyone was, I felt like that would have worked. So we really just got the main characters, and that's it. And I feel like if we met everyone in Earth...
Dude, that's a long-ass list. It wouldn't have worked.
I mean, even if just physically standing, like, this is Earth's team, this is Outworld's team. Even just standing in a line like that, I think that would have just been better. Just to establish that. I do get what you're saying. It just felt like there were some scenes that were cut from this movie, a lot of them containing art. But I think the writing
could be, yeah,
is meh, which is expected. But I feel like the music in this film was amazing. It is the best music we have gotten in all 3 films that I have seen, and overall the choreography. And
Annihilation's got some pretty tight music too. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably the only thing it's got going for it.
I believe that. But the choreography and the music, best parts, and it's better than it's the best of all 3 of these movies. And then one last thing, and when I talked this a little bit yesterday when we were talking, it just feels like a very important dialogue slip here is I don't know why they didn't mention Andinia in this movie, especially when they have Katana in this movie, and she's even quoted saying that her father was the rightful ruler of Outworld until Shao Kahn came into Outworld. I wish they just changed it to be Andinia. I don't know why they did it that way. It may just be a dialogue error or what, but
sometimes these movies, they take liberties and they make
definitely
mistakes.
Take liberties, yeah.
They don't follow the lore. But yeah, no, Katana's father, as we see from the latest movie, which actually got that shit right.
They rocked.
They ruled the realm of Edinia.
Yep.
Here, she does make that mistake, and she's like, "Yeah, my father was the rightful ruler of Outworld." No, dude, your dad didn't rule Outworld. Shao Kahn, Emperor Shao. I also hate the fact that people like that because that became a trope with fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It used to be in the first game, you hear about the Emperor. You never hear that fucker's name.
And then I don't think they said his name in this movie. I think it was only referred to as the Emperor.
I think
maybe once.
You just watched the most recent. Yeah. I think if anyone, Katana mentions it, but I think maybe she says once, yeah. I think she says Emperor Shao Kahn. I don't think she's so disrespectful fucks are just like, Shao Kahn. Like, yeah. It was in the first, and I love that because in the first game it reminded me of Star Wars because we didn't originally know what Palpatine looked like. He was always referred to as it was just always the Emperor, and here it was just the Emperor's trying to like conquer the Earth. And then the second game we were introduced to Emperor Shao Kahn. It was never like Shao Kahn's this, Shao Kahn's that. And then the fucking second movie came out, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Motherfuckers just started calling him Shao Kahn. And then at some point, Liu Kang's like, yeah, Kahn this, Kahn that. And then people just was like, yeah, Shao Kahn. No, bitch, it's Emperor Shao Kahn, which I fucking love. Not that I love Shao Kahn. He's an asshole, but just the title of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Griffin's right. That is a trope. And it showed, because even he was like, hey, I don't see Edinia. And I'm like, no, it's there. But I also had to explain to him that because they don't also cover that in the new movie. Yeah. Anytime the Emperor like conquers a new realm, he merges it with his. Yeah. So he was not the original. Which makes more
sense, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not bouncing from world to world. Yeah. But apparently he liked the Edenian Palace so much that he just made that the capital. Like fuck it.
I mean, he just likes crummy shit. I bet it was better than whatever is on Outworld. I don't know why, but I can picture him ruling Castle Grayskull, ruling something similar to that.
No, Outworld's throne sucked. He took it from this other being that he poisoned because he was an asshole. But I like the fact that we don't get we see glimpses of the Emperor here. No, you also see him in that fucking statue that.
We see a statue of him, but then at the end we see him.
Yeah, we do see him. We also see him when Shang Tsung's on a boat and he's doing the Leonardo DiCaprio thing, but he's like saying it has begun. I don't know why he says it has begun.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on with that.
There's like skulls and shit, but there's a clear image of Emperor Shao Kahn without his helmet, which I'm not too much of a fan of. But we do see him towards the end, also without his helmet. He has his helmet, he doesn't have his mask. Which I do like. Yeah. But I like the mystery behind just the Emperor, you know, and little hints and things. Because even Shao Kahn is, and I like him here more than in the new movie. Because in the new movie, he's kind of disrespectful. He's kind of like undermining him. Here, he's fucking petrified of the Emperor.
Fully
he
devoted.
knows if I fail him, he's going to fucking
Disembowel
squash me like a bug. Yeah. And he never refers to him as Shao Kahn or Khan. He's always like the Emperor. Yeah. Well, not. He even tells Goro, he's like, dude, what's his name is the descendant of Kung Lao. Don't fuck it up. And then Goro gets all offended. He's like, I don't fail. He's like, the Emperor's not going to tolerate any failure, dude. He will kill us both. Don't fuck around. I like that. I like the Shao Kahn. That Shang Tsung's like, yeah, this dude's not playing.
Yeah.
Princess Katana here, she's kind of just...
She's there.
She's hot. She's
a plot
there.
point.
Yeah.
She's a plot device. That's it.
And in the later iteration, in the newest iteration, I really like what they did with Princess Katana. They show us how Shao Kahn conquers a realm, and what happens when he does.
Yeah.
And the whole history between her father, her mother, her new adopted father, and I like that this movie does something very well. It establishes why the Emperor keeps Princess Katana alive, because he needs her to lay claim to the throne. They don't say that in the new movie, but he does need that bloodline to establish this is why she's here. She's Princess Katana. I'm adopting her. That's how he lays claim to the throne of Edenia.
One question I do have about that is Katana said, I don't know if this is just because she's not seeing... I don't remember the character's name. I apologize. But her mother, when she turned into this... Is she a revenant? Whatever she is.
No.
Whatever she is in the new movie. In this one, she says that Shao Kahn kills her mother. Is she just... is her mother actually dead, or is she just referring to killed, like, her version of her mother?
No, in this one, as far as in this one, she's dead.
Okay.
Which is what happens in the games.
Okay.
In the game, she doesn't kill her mom. I mean, the Emperor doesn't kill her mom. He kills her dad after defeating him in battle. He slaughters him. And then, like, Queen Sindel's like, I just can't go on. She fucking kills herself.
And then does she get resurrected?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the plot of the third game. But Shao Kahn's like...
And that wasn't out
Shang
yet.
Tsung,
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't out yet, but they're like... So kind of like Shao Kahn claiming the throne because of Katana. Mm-hmm. Which does make sense in nobility and royalty and all that bullshit. This is how I lay claim to the throne. This is why I'm now your emperor, because she's my daughter. So these ass toads, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they bring Queen Sindel's corpse to Earth. They resurrect her here, and then that's why Shao Kahn is able to be like, well, they stole her from me. I'm going to Earth to claim my bride, but he just invades, which just makes sense.
Got it.
Because a lot of people are like, why the fuck? That's why, dude. But yeah, no, I do like the actress, Talisha Soto. I don't know. I also don't know why they didn't go Asian. They went Puerto Rican, which I don't mind. She's hot.
It's fine.
But she doesn't do much. I mean, she fights Liu Kang once and then doesn't necessarily... It's not like the Johnny Cage Katana fight where she beats his ass and he gets eliminated from the tournament. She's still in the tournament, but never fights again. And Liu Kang doesn't beat her. He just kind of drops her in the sand, and then Shang Tsung's like, enough. And then you're like...
I guess she gave up, technically? I don't know.
What kind of stupid-ass fight was this? If she had, though,
then
Outworld should have forfeited. And then that's... Yeah, I know. I'm getting too much into it. But yeah. Oh, and my favorite fight of all Mortal Kombat movies to date is... Now I know for sure, is still the reptile Liu Kang fight. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I realize that. Yeah. But I love the scene because... Johnny and Luke go on this like brotherly buddy cop camaraderie like adventure because Sonya gets kidnapped, and Raiden's like, if you guys don't go after her and one of you challenges Shang Tsung, we're fucked. We're getting invaded tonight. And Shang Tsung's already like singing praises. He's like, you're not gonna fight me? Oh, let the Emperor know. He's gonna be overwhelmed. Like, I'm getting the raise. Fuck this. I'm getting a couple islands. And then these two show up. But before they show up, they have to, they travel to... Raiden could go, but he's like, I'm not going because I'll lose my powers, and I don't have any powers, which doesn't make any sense given the second movie, but I'll let Griffin watch that.
No.
So they get there, and I love the lines. I just love... Because as soon as he gets there, as much as Johnny is well prepared in combat for pretty much anything. He just beat Prince Goro. Dude, there's like little like weird ass people running around. There's like whispers, and it's all in ruins. He's like, he's just telling Luke, he's like, dude, Lou, I hate this place, man. I feel like I'm back in high school with people trying to kick my ass, and I hate it. And then Lou's like, we're being followed, and it's Reptile, and he grabs him, and he starts scratching the shit out of him, and he throws him into this Shao Kahn statue that's on the ground. How do I know it's Shao Kahn? Because I'll send Griffin pictures, but I know what Shao Kahn looks like without his helmet.
Yeah.
And then he just like starts like trying to eat Reptile, and it turns into. But once he actually turns into Reptile, the ninja as we know him, and that, I love everything about that. The sound it makes when it's like Reptile, and he just gets up and kicks the shit out of Liu Kang. Also, as much as I love this fight, and as much as Johnny Cage is my favorite MK character, where the fuck were you, Johnny? Well, Liu Kang was getting the dog shit beat at.
So what was he doing?
Mortal Getting Kombat. French fries? I get no. It's not even part of the tournament.
No, I know it's not part of the tournament. I'm talking about like the game. The game is always one-on-one fights.
Was he trying to figure out where the fuck the tower was? Was he talking to one of the little like covered up people? I just thought that was funny. I've always thought, even as a kid watching this at the theater for the first time, I was like, what's Johnny doing? Is he watching this shit? He's like, this is the greatest fight ever. Because Liu Kang's getting the dog shit kicked out of him for a good, I want to say, minute and a half before he actually starts picking up his momentum. That fight is amazing. Reptile looks awesome. And I mean, Liu Kang, it takes him a bit to like. He's like, I just threw this thing into a statue. Now it's a man beating the shit out of me. I got to get my bearings here. But once he starts getting his bearings, and he starts beating Reptile's ass, you could start to see that Reptile's losing the fight. I just love everything about. I love the lighting, the choreography of the fight, everything. That's the one of the best fights I've seen to date. Honestly,
out of everything,
I mean, it's up there, man. It's one of my favorite fights on film. Yeah, sure. It includes Daredevil. Not that the Daredevil fights are bad, but there's a lot of ass kickery in this. It's a hard fight, and it lasts a good 2 minutes, which is a lot. I know people are like, that's not a long time, dude. Fight someone, fight someone, and tell me that after 15 seconds you're not hoping that shit ends.
Yeah.
It's a solid fight.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you thought about the 1995 Mortal Kombat. And if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, as we are, you can check out our most recent review for Mortal Kombat 2 right now.